Nerdrotic.com.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're admitting defeat because this is the BBC. They never admit defeat. But this is a massive salvage job.
This is as close as they will get. I don't think any company nowadays would do that.
True.
Although, you know what? At least in this country, when people admit defeat and go, I was wrong, people love that. People freaking love that. Go, listen, we screwed up. We tried. You should go, hey, we want to heal the fandom here. And it's real easy. It's the simplest thing. Just don't be ideological. That's all. And people conflate that with political. No, ideological. Your identity politics, you're pushing your uber progressive CRT. And yeah, that's very divisive politics. Just leave that out. Nobody's asking for the doctor to come in and build a wall in Texas. You know, that
people think though, Gary, that people like when we use the word woke as a negative term, that we must be against visibility and all these other things. And you know, and it's not the case at all.
They don't think that. They use that as an argument because they have none for our arguments. Because if you go and watch any of our videos, our arguments against that, none of us have ever said we don't like women. When my videos were getting 100 views when I was reviewing the Capaldi era and struggling through those shows, like trying to find ways to like them and be positive about them, like out of the 2 comments I would get, people were busting on me. I'm like, the doctor's a dude. The doctor is a dude. You cannot change the doctor into a woman. It'll be a total disaster. And it was. And my suggestion was everybody else's suggestion, which would have been the easier move. Just pick a female character from Doctor Who and do a show on it. And then have it run concurrent with Doctor Who. Like, in the fall, you have that show. And then, in the spring, summer, you have Doctor Who. And you just have more Doctor Who. And you're making more money. And your license actually gets more valuable. Right now, all the value in the Doctor Who license is the RTD era. That's why they brought him back. It was an absolute desperation move. And it was a smart move because now people are going to actually tune in to Series 13 thinking there might be some, little bits left to lead up to the 60th. Isn't it interesting? His first episode is going to be the 60th anniversary and not a build up to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys think that they were actually talking to Russell while they were shooting this show or before they started shooting this version?
Oh yeah, that's been rumored since Series 11. It's been leaked from multiple sources that behind the scenes, both Moffat and RTD were beyond pissed off with what Chibs had done to the show. The one problem, there's many problems. A lot of Doctor Who fans are never coming back because of the way they've been treated the past 4 years, regardless of what happens. It's been made very clear, you're not welcome in fandom, go away. But another problem is canon is so damaged at this point. Like, it's been absolutely eviscerated. The only way around that is to completely retcon this entire era. Going back to Peter Capaldi's regeneration and picking up from there. I don't see RTD being willing to do that. The idea is that they're going to build on what they've done. And unfortunately, you can't. You were in a very different place when RTD first came in 2005. Doctor Who, it wasn't hated. It was actually loved. Even when it went off air in 1989. It had petered out, but the show got fire in its belly again with season 26. Big Finish was doing very well. The novels were doing very well. You thought of Doctor Who. I'm like, I love that show. Doctor Who's coming back. I remember when that first trailer came out, watching it over and over again.
Oh, God,
We're not in that situation now, where not only is the show ruined, but you've got basically 2 more years of this shit before it even takes over. So we're just a little past the halfway point. You got 2 more years of additional damage that's going to be done. And I don't think Chibs left willingly.
He didn't.
I think he was forced out, and God knows what he's going to do, because we know that he's vindictive. We know he hates the fans. His ego is unreal. This isn't 2005. In 2023, it's a damaged show. Just
in a different world, dude.
Yeah,
totally different world. As what would it take for you? I'm sure it's very similar for me to be back on board.
The Timeless Children has to be got rid of.
Yeah, there you go.
See, my feeling
William
is that
is the first Doctor.
He is.
And there has been 13 incarnations of the Doctor.
Not the little black girl, no, sorry.
My feeling is that Russell T Davies will handle that, which, and I loathe all of that. I do.
So do I.
Supportive of the hashtag from day one. But my feeling is that he will handle that exactly the same way as he handled the Paul McGann doctor being half human. And he most likely just won't mention it and gradually hope that the viewers forget it. I think it's a tall order.
That's not good.
I know it's not good enough, but I think that's what he'll do.
It's a completely different situation. So that was a throwaway line in a TV special. That at that point, a lot of people didn't even acknowledge.
That was a throwaway line, Bolster. It was quite a big part of the story of the TV movie, but it had been a few years. I'm talking specifically about match one, day one for this 60th anniversary special. There's a whole series to come afterwards where he may do more, but I think for that 60th anniversary special, firstly, I'm sure it will go out. It'll be a movie. It'll be in the cinema as well as on TV, and I think it will be a distillation, a stripped back look at Doctor Who, that core value of a doctor, a companion, an adventure in space and time with very little lore of any kind. That I just think it'll have quite a big budget, and that will be the specialness of it all.
Yeah, I mean, and for people who don't know, like, how bad the origin, the canon, the retcon was destroyed. For one, Doctor Who is called Doctor Who. It was always supposed to be a mysterious show. Nobody ever wanted an origin or an answer. Ever. I am willing to compromise. I was always of the mind, like, hey, if we get a female doctor and it sucks, I'll just suffer through it. And the next doctor, I'll just jump back on. I heard very early on, along with all of you, that this wasn't just, they weren't going to just bring in a female doctor. They were going to retcon absolutely everything because it didn't work. They knew thematically it didn't work. So they had to change the origin. They simply wanted to make up for the very white past of Doctor Who, and that's why they lazily brought in the first female doctor of color, Jo Martin. So the next doctor, because the wokerati that they answer to now absolutely would be insisting on a black female doctor next. They
absolutely.
These are the very same people, by the way, that didn't fucking watch Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who.
I know.
So stop listening to people that don't give a shit about the show. They're only interested in the superficiality of what they can control through social media. They don't care about the show. They don't care to watch the show. They don't understand the show. They've never seen the show. They never want to watch the show, but they want to control what the Doctor looks like. Shut up.
Yep.
Stop listening to these people. Your viewership has shown distinctly and clearly that the people who watch Doctor Who, which are families and families from generationals, are not watching the show anymore because you destroyed the very fabric and core of what Doctor Who used to be. A fun show with a madman in a box. Going away on adventures with a companion who we look through the eyes of as the human aspect of it.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
If you like what I do here, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the videos. It really does help. And if you did this with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.